Oi, yo, it's me. It's Shapes. Hello, it's me. And today we're gonna be talking about me. Yes, me. The animator that spends most of his time gaming. Uh, I survived 100 days in Don't Starve Together. Now, let me give you a quick rundown. This video will probably be quite long, as a lot of the 100-day videos, the thousands of them that are on YouTube, are usually pretty long. And Don't Starve's day and night cycle are quite the lengthy, kind of, sort of. It doesn't take as long as, Minecraft playthroughs. But anyway, Don't Starve Together is a hardcore survival game. Uh, and I played with my friend Evan. I'm almost certain that he'll be fine with me including him in the video because he's the person I played with, because we're playing on Don't Starve Together, where almost every boss has either double or 10 times the health, because, oh, you're supposed to be playing with so many friends, blah, blah, blah. But from my experience, playing with more than 3 people is just a hassle because the food is just so scarce. But yeah, so you have to manage your sanity, your health, and your hunger. Your hunger will go down periodically, your sanity will go down only in the evening and night, and your health will only go down if you get hit by all the mobs, or pick things like cactus. And so let's get into the torture of Don't Starve. So me and Evan load in just a normal world. Not too big, or not too... Oh wait, I should actually probably go back. Also, our world has a few customization settings that also put it on kind of baby mode and kind of easier. First off, we don't have hound attacks. I'm sorry, but those are really hard, but I'm sorry if you're offended. Second off, we have rain unless we don't really need to. I just felt sort of like I wanted it. We have day type on long day because I like that. Just so we don't spend all of our wood every night in winter just spending it on keeping the fuel fired. Plus, I don't want the evening to be so long so that we drain our sanity. Anyway, back to here. I load in as Winona, and I pick Winona because of her. Because in our previous 2 runs, we had extremely good results with playing with Winona. Because every time I played, we had never defeated Deerclops in the past 3 runs. Like, the 3 runs ago, we were getting the crap beaten out of us by Deerclops. Because we would always spend all of our time and all of our resources prepping for Deerclops, only to have all of those resources taken away by the threat of winter. But with Winona, you can spend the first 10 days gathering rocks, niter, and wood. Just setting up a ton of catapults and her spotlights, but her spotlights are kind of expensive and kind of useless. And yeah. So, here's what we did. For the first couple of days, like 3 or 4, I spent gathering resources. And Evan, if you're wondering, Evan loaded in as Wickerbottom for the books and for his early science machine benefits. I immediately found the mosaic biome, and I got a tallbird egg, and I was like, let's hatch a tallbird. I didn't know how much of a hassle it would be, and I ended up being stuck there for 3 days. But I got a small bird, and I also didn't end up knowing how much of a hassle small birds would be, because I immediately got struck with the problem of hunger and keeping the small bird alive. Because if you didn't know, if you didn't know, small birds are ridiculously hard to keep alive. And for now, we're just going to be ignoring the tall bird, because in a couple of days, he died before he could even grow up into a smallish tall bird, I think it's called. I just call it a teen bird. And then, after 20 days, came the threat of winter. We hadn't even established our base yet. Well, not big base with like a crockpot, an alchemy engine, and a prestidigitator. We hadn't done that. But we did technically have a base located, and that was the Oasis Desert. And the Oasis Desert has a variety of benefits: cactuses for food year round, Volt goats for farms, which we haven't set up yet, even though we're on 100 on day 123. We're currently prepping for Dragonfly, but shh, no spoilers. So we wanted to base in the Oasis for the main reason so that we base near Antlion so that we can beat the crap out of her when she spawns. 2, for the benefit of being in the Oasis where nothing smolders. Nothing burns. Nothing burns in summer. And that's just great. But when I got there, Evan had already set up a kind of small base, but a kind of good base. He had Alchemy Engine down because he's Wicker Bottom. Come on. I just started setting up catapults and generators because this was getting close to the Day of Reckoning, aka the night of day 30. And when that came, I was ready. I had my niter ready, fueling those catapults, and they just beat the crap out of Deerclops. And yes, I know for the bosses in this video, I'm not gonna have them drawn very well. I also just remembered that I kinda screwed up, so I'm just gonna start. There's not gonna be any drawings later in the video for a part and a year through in autumn. So we got the drops, which is the eye and a bunch of meat, and I decided to give Evan the Eyebrow because he's Wicker Bottom and he needs his sanity for his books, which he hasn't used still, and we're on day 124. So I was sat there, laying in the rain of spring, and nothing really happened. I kind of apologize, nothing really happened that much except we set up a few farms, so we're just gonna move along to summer. And because since we're in the Oasis, we have the Oasis at our disposal, because the Oasis. So, our strat for summer was what we have to do to kill antlions so that we don't get the sinkholes. Which was to fish for the fashion goggles and then fish for the desert goggle blueprint, so that we could both get ourselves a pair of desert goggles. And surprisingly, I got those in the first 3 casts. That's not even a joke. The first 3 crumpled bags I got had the desert goggles and the fashion goggles. So we made 2 pairs. And we started preparations for Antlion. With spears and log suits, we were ready. What the crap? We are ready for Antlion. I know these drawings suck for the bosses. I don't really care. I did too much reference imaging for the, florid postern, right here, and I still don't really like the way it turned out, so I'm just gonna be drawing derp versions of all the bosses. But we were kind of trash, because we had never done the antlion fight before. We hadn't even gotten past day 40. We got past day 40 in one of me and Aaron's worlds, because, we turned winter to very short, so Deerclops didn't spawn. Anyway, I kind of got destroyed, and so did Evan. Moving on, we did a rollback, because screw dying. And then the same thing happened. Around 5 days later, I was gathering resources for some catapults. And if you didn't know, catapults are wicked overpowered, and we beat the crap out of them. And since nothing else really happened except, us surviving, farming the spiders that are next to our base, we kind of just, vibed. And, yeah, this is where I made a mistake. I said I was gonna skip to winter, but basically I'll give you mini drawings of what happened. Since in autumn, big boy Barriger comes, big thick boy. He's angry. So the only real big thing that happened is he came. And what we had a strat for was we wanted to not deal with him. So we started leading him away from base, and we had multiple ideas. Since Barriger technically works as a bee hammer, and you have to hammer the bee queen hive to, get the bee queen, we thought, if we run Barriger into the bee queen hive, do you think it'll anger bee queen? Ended up not working. It just kept splattering the freaking beehive. Like, it kept vibrating intensely. Bottom text. And so, we decided on the plan of taking big ol' Barriger to good old D-Fly. I'll try to do a good drawing this time. It's probably not going to work out well, but I'm going to try. Big eyes. Good enough. And then, bum bum bum, ba ba bum. And then her little wings. There we go. Good enough. And so basically, we took Barriger to D-Fly. It didn't really work out the first time, so we rollbacked, and everything was good. But when we took Barriger to D-Fly the second time, they fought until Barriger eventually did a charge over to Dragonfly while she was spitting out lava. And then they eventually both lost aggro, because how bosses work. They don't naturally fight each other, but if they accidentally hit one another, they'll fight each other. So basically, Dragonfly lost interest and flew off for a second, and then came back down to full health. And Barriger was still left around there, so we located Barriger again, and Barriger sadly passed away. And luckily, surprisingly even, because I was watching the whole fight. Evan went home to make meatballs and stuff, or something. And we basically, I got the loot from Barriger, and that's poggers, because you can make the hibernation vest for winter. Speaking of winter, it's winter now. I know I've been skipping a lot of days, but that's just because most of our days we're just sitting, cooking, and making a bunch of food. So, here's winter again. And it's basically the winter you'd expect. We're farming big potatoes. We're living the life. And until next time, I'll see you when Deerclops comes for the second round, and when we survive 200 days. And you guys made it to the end screen! Welcome, everybody's welcome. I would also really like to shout out Sadie for that lovely profile pic I have now. She streams on Twitch at, here, I'll put it here. Sadie MC. If you want to see her play Bed Wars with my friend Nightmaric, and sometimes Rock the House, and maybe even me, you can go see that, and you can see my first impressions on playing with computer, because I kinda suck at computer, and I've had a crisis lately where part of my keyboard broke, but it got fixed because it was some sort of setting, etc. It's fixed now. It doesn't matter. And I can play Hypixel now. And I can play on the Schneider SMP. So, if you want to see me play on that, or Bed Wars, go to Sadie MC, or follow Nightmaric if you haven't already. Also, I would like to shout out Camo King, Commander Camo, Nightmaric. Nightmaric sadly had to restart YouTube because of a stupid YouTube glitch, which I'll probably make a video on stupid YouTube glitches in a future video, but not right now. Basically, stupid beginner bots were like, oh, subscribe! And then YouTube was like, you're going too fast, let's remove those subscribers, plus a little more. And so he literally showed me in a call that he had -3 subscribers. Come on, YouTube, you can do better than this. Anyway, I'll stop with the rambling. I don't want this video to be twice as long because of the end screen. See y'all later. See you for 200 days. Goodbye.